Hello students, welcome to this online lecture of computer science. In previous lecture we have studied the first chapter, that is number system. So in today's lecture we are going to start with the chapter number 3, that is program analysis. This chapter it explains different concepts and illustrative examples to get the knowledge of program designing aspect. Program development, it is a skill, it requires logic. So any problem which has to be converted in computer program must be carefully analyzed. For analysis, various methods are used. So these are the methods which we follow. The first, it is the flowchart. The second, it is the algorithm. The third, it is the pseudocode. Now, what does program development mean? Before writing a program, user has to define problem. Problem is first analyzed. Actually, problem solution gets converted into program. But for the conversion, there is a process of programming. Programming is a process for development of program for a specific problem. So, program development, it is a list of instructions in specific language to tell the computer to do in sequence. So, whenever any problem has to be converted into a program, then its process has the following steps. The first, it is the problem analysis, that is analyzing the problem. The second, it is the design, that is designing the solution. The third, it is the coding the solution. The fourth, it is testing the solution. And the fifth, it is documenting the solution. So this is the program development life cycle. So whatever problem is there, so it has to be defined. The second step, the problem should be analyzed. The third, it is the developer has to prepare the algorithm. The next, it is the coding and documentation should be prepared. The fifth, it is testing and debugging should be done of the coding. The sixth, it is the maintenance. So, problem analysis. We will see these blocks one by one. The first, it is the problem analysis. You should have a complete definition of problem and the requirement should be clear before writing the solution. Generally, every program needs input, output, storage and process. So inputs to be supplied for the program. Output means in what form output is required. Storage, if output is there, the storage is required. And the next, it is the process. So process, now the events should be executed. What is its sequence? In general, any problem has to be analyzed. That problem is divided into simple steps leading to the solution or a problem. The next, it is the program design. Breaking the project into small pieces and designing logic for each part describes desired features and operations in detail, including screen layouts, business rules, process diagrams, pseudocode and other documentation. Program coding. It is a process of conversion of a program design into programming language. So program coding, it is the translating the program design into appropriate computer programming language. The next, it is the program testing. So after coding, programmer has to test the program to see whether it is executing correctly or not. If it is having any problems, errors, then user has to see it and correct it. Verification, it is also important. So for testing, examine the output screen and determine what is wrong. Check for alignment problems with output information. Check for missing information. Verify computation information and check formula. Take different set of test data and run the program. The next, it is the documentation. The written information of program that has to be maintained for developer as well as user is document of a program. So for documentation, the developer has to maintain documentation and user manual. Programmer documentation, copy of original written specifications, copy of input output process and storage analysis, copy of source code, flowchart, pseudocode or other designs if used, printed copy of input facts used to test program, printed copy of all possible output reports or screens. There are problem analysis tools: algorithm, flowchart, pseudocode. The first, it is the algorithm. Algorithm is a logical sequence of steps prepared for solving problem. It is a tool to write the job in simple types. So the example of algorithm, that is algorithm to change the value of two variables. Suppose if a and b are two variables, the algorithm will be store the value of a in x and transfer b value to a, transfer x to b. So this is the algorithm for exchanging the two value of variables. The next, it is the characteristic of algorithm. It should be easy and simple in language. It should not repeat the task again and again. Every step must be accurate and complete in itself. It can be easily understandable to others and steps should be clear and concise. It can be easily modified if necessary. It should be correct for clearly defined situations. It should be economical in the use of computer time, computer storage and peripherals. The second, it is of the problem analysis tool, it is the flowchart. So the method used to represent an algorithm in the pictorial form with standard meaningful symbols is known as flowchart. With flowchart, programmer illustrates different loops, logical decisions, input and output data. Now we will see the one by one symbol and its description which we use in the flowchart. So the first symbol, it is of the rectangular with rounded corners to specify start and stop, known as a terminal. It is usually used to start and end of program. So you can see this is start and stop with the rounded corners. The next, it is a parallelogram to represent input and output operation. It is known as the input-output symbol. The next, it is a rectangular box. A rectangle is used to represent processing or calculating part. So this symbol it is used for print, input and read. The next it is a rectangle. A rectangle is used to represent processing or calculating part. You can see here S is equal to A plus B plus C. The next it is a diamond shaped box. A diamond symbol is used to present decision making step in the form of question and logical answer. It is known as decision box. The next it is the arrows. Arrows are used to indicate the direction of flow of program process. A small circle is used to connect incomplete flow chart to its remaining part. It is known as a connector. Normally it is used in the end of page where flowchart breaks and situations where flow lines cross each other. So there are some rules which are to be considered while drawing flowchart. The first it is the standard symbols should be used. The second it is the rows should be used to represent the direction of flow. The next it is the flow lines should not cross each other. And the last it is the program flow should be top to bottom. Advantages of flowchart. Better programming steps. Advantages of flowcharts are better programming steps, minimum length, systematic analysis, minimization of error, effective testing and result, easy coding, universal logical solution. So here are few examples that how to draw a flowchart. So to find the area, this flowchart is shown. You can see here the start and the end, that both are rectangular with rounded corners. The input length is given and the next it is the area which is equal to length into length and then print area. The second example is to find largest number from given number. Start and stop. So there are two inputs. Is A is greater than B? If yes, then print A is greater, and if no, then print B is greater. So this was the example to find the largest number from given number. The next it is the pseudocode. It is a programming analysis tool used for planning program logic. Pseudo means false. Code refers to instruction written in programming language. It is an imitation of actual computer instructions. Pseudo instructions are phrases written in ordinary natural language. So pseudocode is made up of basic logic structures that have been proved to be sufficient for writing any computer program. So there are some limitations of the pseudocode. Graphic representation of program logic is not available in pseudocode. As there is no standard rule for writing pseudocode, different programmers may use their own style, which may cause communication problem. The next it is the programming technique. There are two types of the programming technique. The first it is the structured programming and the second it is the modular programming. You can see here the diagrams. So the first we will see that is structured programming. In this programming method, the program is developed in hierarchy of modules, where modules refer to subprogram in the main program. It is a top to bottom approach. In this technique, three basic structures are normally adopted, such as simple sequence. You can see S1, S2 up to Sn. The second, it is a selection sequence, that is by decision making. Whether the condition if is yes, then print, and if the condition is no, then print else. And the third, it is the repetition. The next, it is the modular programming. So in this programming method, a main module is prepared just by writing instructions of control. Submodules are prepared by writing required programs in main program. Each subprogram may be called as functions or procedures. Each function performs a specific routine which may be required many times in the main program. So, modular programming reduces rewriting the subprograms. The next, it is the searching. To find any record matching the specific criteria in a group of items or list is called as searching. There are two types of searching. For searching, various algorithms are available, that is linear searching and binary searching. Linear searching. If n items are given and you want to find whether the item is present in the group of items or not, then algorithm for that is as follows. Start, read n and item to be found. Initialize counter I to 1. If b of I is item, then print item found at position I, else increment I. If I is less than n, then go to step 4. If I is greater than n, then display item not found. Stop. I is equal to counter. Item is element to be searched. And B is array name. N is number of the items in the list. This is the algorithm for the linear searching. Now the second algorithm for binary searching is initialize segment variables. So here data is sorted array with lower bound LB and upper bound UB, and item is given of information. The variables BEG stands for beginning, end and mid, denote respectively the beginning, end and middle location of a segment of elements of data. This algorithm finds the location LOC of item in data or set LOC equal to null. Initialize segment variables. Set beginning LB and UB and mid, that is middle location. Beginning plus end divided by 2. The second is repeat step 3 and 4 while beginning is less than equal to end and data. Middle is not equal to item. If item is less than data middle, then set end is equal to middle minus 1, else middle plus 1. Set location equal to middle, else set location equal to null. End of if structure, exit. So these were the two algorithms for the linear searching and the binary searching. The next, it is the sorting. Sorting, it is a process of arranging the data items in ascending or descending order. To arrange the elements in ascending or descending order in array or list or for any data structure, various sorting algorithms are used. So there are various sorting algorithms: sorting by selection, bubble sorting, shell sorting, heap sorting. So in this way the second chapter is over, and in exam questions will be asked like explain what is sorting, what is pseudocode, what is binary searching, what are the characteristics of algorithm, define flowchart and write the advantages of flowchart.